everyone, Ivy Lee Gaming here, and today we're playing Eternal Evolution. For today's video, I want to talk Hyperevolution. You might notice my account looks a little bit different right now. And I actually, in the process of Hyperevolution, I did make one mistake. But I want to talk about that. It's not really a big deal, but I want to talk about that too, just for probably the general advice that most people would give, and for you to avoid the mistake I made, so you're not, well, you can maximize your benefits of Hyperevolution from the start. So, you're gonna see that I'm quite shiny now. But first of all, what is Hyperevolution, right? So, Hyperevolution. Can we see you? So after heroes are upgraded to Immortal, Hyperevolution will be enabled. After Hyperevolution, the summit level is unlocked, and increase the summit level to upgrade a hero's attributes. After Hyperevolution, heroes' quality will change to Extraordinary, and you may further upgrade their quality at a cost equal to the evolution cost of Immortal heroes at the same quality. So that the wording's a little bit confusing there, but the TLDR is after you have, actually, let's go to this, right? Requires, in order to hyper evolve your heroes, you have to have 5 heroes at level 240 at the same time. So your inherent needs to have everybody, which my inherit looks different now, doesn't it? But you need to have your inheritance here, and with everyone hitting 240. Then you need one of those crystal, well, you don't even do a crystal, you just need to lock everyone in. It's kind of a weird, confusing thing. It's like, if I lock them in, am I stuck with them? But as long as you have core heroes in there, I don't think you have to worry. But it locks your whole account with everyone at 240. So what I think that means is you just cannot reset them, I guess, because they're locked in. No more resetting. But it's not like, by the time you get to Hyperevolution, you're not really worried about resetting heroes anymore either. So I got to that point. But keep in mind, there are 2 different types of stones. So this one, Gene Mutation Crystal 2, this is for Triple S heroes. And then there are Gene Mutation Crystal Level 1. This is for non-Triple S heroes. So that is what's going to determine who you can evolve. Now, the only thing is there's only certain heroes that are allowed to be hyper-evolved, which is weird. But it's not literally everyone. So like you can see, I only have a hyper-evolved Mazrani so far. But where's Bailey Hudson? Where's Ravenna? Daniel? We're missing some people here, right? Leo? So I have to make the decisions to hyper-evolve heroes that are going to be the most important for account progression. Now, the first time I hit this, and I was about to hit the evolve button, and it was like, do you want to lock this in? I was like, what do I do? Am I doing this right? I was so worried because I haven't done it yet. Why is my camera freaking out? What is going on with my OBS? Right? Okay, my camera was totally freaking out, sorry. But anyway, I didn't know what to do when it came to Hyperevolution because I've never done it, I've never seen anybody do it, and I didn't want to make a mistake myself, so why is it still freaking out? Oh my god. Alright, well I guess my camera's gonna freak out. I might just disable it for the rest of this video, just to continue the thoughts here and not get too distracted. Sorry, technical difficulties, it happens, right? Yep, and I'm glitchy apparently. But anyway, I asked the people, right, in my Celestials guild, I kind of asked some of the more experienced players that have been playing before me. I was like, alright guys, what do you do? Who do you guys suggest? Am I doing this right? And I think 3 or 4 people replied with literally the same people. Number 1, Luke, actually, which might be a surprise to some people, but Luke has AoE damage, AoE decreased defense. He's incredibly helpful for clearing those later stages of story mode. Plus, he's amazing in Twilight and Spider, and the Spider in Guild Hunt. So like he's gonna be a little bit more universal than some of the other damage dealers. Like, of course, I would love Bailey Hudson because I use him almost everywhere, but he's not here. So that's a thing too. But Luke was actually the first person that people suggested, along with Masrani. Well, it was Luke, Emma, Masrani, Crete. That was like the 4 people that everyone said, no matter, or that's not Masrani. This is Nautilus. But my Masrani is already done. But yeah, that was the 4 people, Luke, Masrani, Crete, Emma. But more so emphasis on Luke because of his help for campaign. Now, there's a couple ways of building Luke, so maybe we're not getting the best out of him. I've heard some other suggestions of some fun stuff to try that I might do a video on. But I love Luke. Luke was my OG favorite. So, and I love I love using him in campaign with Leo. So that's one interesting thing as well. Like, and although personally, I absolutely use Leo more than I use Crete. So I don't think I'm going to have Crete be on my next to Hyper Evolve list. Because what if Leo comes? I think I'd rather Hyper Evolve Leo. But especially if we have Luke and Leo in the same team, Luke will bring the decreased defense. And Leo can be the tank and damage dealer. And you might not need Crete. So that's something that everything's kind of changing, right? The core group of who you must get or who you must focus on are constantly going to change. But that's all right. That's part of every game, right? The meta's going to change, or new heroes are going to come out that are better than the old ones. But Luke, we're going to do the thing because Luke was my favorite hero from the start. As a raid player, as a gacha games player, I love me an AoE decreased defense, and I do want to get a damage dealer in here. So I made the mistake of picking Masrani first because I thought I needed healing support the most, which, to be fair, that's not necessarily a bad thing because, yeah, healing, when it comes to Guild Hunt, for example, you don't use tanks, it's all relying on healing, and that makes a huge difference to have my Masrani get better and better and better. And to be honest, unfortunately, the Hyperevolution levels, the damage differences and whatnot, it's actually pretty small in the end. So picking a support hero isn't the end of the world, but in most cases with anything you're doing, you want to get that damage dealer to the highest level possible first, right? So we're kind of going to go here. We're going to go Luke for, he's a little bit of a offensive supportive unit, right? He can be the amazing support behind Ravenna, who's going to do even more damage in PvE, or he can be a main source of damage alongside of a Bailey Hudson and a Leo and a general team you're using to push your story mode, right? I mean, I could absolutely do Emma as well. She is insane, and I have used her a bit in story and other content too, but I really think Luke is overall going to be a little bit more beneficial because Luke plus Leo, that's got decreased defense covered and all the AoE damage you could use for proper progression. So I am going to go Luke per the recommendations of my guildmates, honestly. Plus, he literally was my favorite hero from the start. He's my OG favorite, so Leo's my new favorite, but he's not there. And I'm not wasting time. Let's go. All right, here we go. Fancy, new, extraordinary Luke. Hey. He is now extraordinary. Now, I'm going to push him up as far as we can. Let's see how far we can go. Level 71. Okay, boom. 71. So I already got Masrani to 25. And I thought it was lower. I was like, oh, I went to 25. Oops. But I'm not going to regret that. Honestly, let's be honest. I'm not going to regret that, right? So you can see the stats went up quite a bit. But not like absolutely insane for the overall damage. It's not like we're not getting the crit damage and stuff and crit rate or anything. But that's what class technology is for. But anyway, other topic. Yeah, I wanted to just kind of showcase what happens when you use Hyperevolution and show that you need 5 heroes at level 240. I know some of you are not quite there yet, especially everyone that started with global launch, but you're kind of going to get there soon depending on oh, hey, new hero. You're gonna get there soon, depending on, yeah, your grind and you'll be a month or two behind, but maybe not. Maybe you're getting closer than I think. I was a little bit of a slacker for like a whole month. I barely did anything. So maybe you're getting pretty darn close now. But yeah, now I'm excited. For so long, I had nothing to do with the Soul Rubelite. I was like, what do I do? Because once you hit a certain level, you stop needing the Soul Rubelite and you just finish leveling everybody up to 240. And I was at that point where I had to cut 1 or 2 people at 240 and just leveling people up to get closer to 240. And the Soul Rubelite was just sitting there. I was like, oh, am I going to use this for anything? And now, ironically, it's actually this that I'm running out of, not Soul Rubelite. So I think that's interesting. Because I didn't use this material for so long, it's really stocked up. But this I was using along with this for the general levels to get the rest of the heroes to 240 in the first place. So it makes sense that this is not in great supply right now. But I'm excited to continue Hyperevolution on all my heroes. I'm going to get him to 120 first, and then I'll get Masrani to 120 next, and then I will probably hyper-evolve Emma next, as far as my Triple S heroes go. But what about the non-Triple S heroes, right? What about them? I have multiple, and so I was kind of told, honestly, just do everyone. Because you have multiple, right? I have 4 still left. But honestly, I don't like these heroes. Like, Ois is okay, Arthas is okay, Muka's okay. Xander, I've never heard anyone say good about Xander except for at EX30, he can be quite strong in some endgame content. But that's it. Like, I mean, Omar can be really good early game when you don't have better AoE. But with Luke and Ravenna in my team, is he really worth even putting this on? I don't think so. I might debate changing up my builds for Arthas and using and hyper-evolving him just for the sake of No, I mean, even in Twilight, he's squishy as a tank, so definitely not using him as a tank. But maybe Hyperevolution could help me to be able to do so. I'm sorry, guys. I know I've been glitchy this video, but I guess I just kind of left it. It was either no me or a little bit of me. It is what it is. Anyway. But yeah, so right now I have other people like, yeah, it looks like I can hyper-evolve Emma, right? Woohoo, let's go. No, I'm missing stuff. But if you want to ask, okay, now how do I get these crystals? That might be one other question we should talk about before I wrap this video up. But these crystals I got through Twilight Lands. That's the only place right now you can get gene mutation crystals. It says it right here. So that's something to keep in mind for everyone that's like, oh, I don't even bother with Twilight Lands. It's just stressful. Or, oh, I'm not good enough, so I don't even do it. You might want to do it. Here, Advanced Data Chip Exchange. This, in your advanced summons, you go to Data Chip Exchange. You can start buying these regularly. So always check your recruitment to see if you can start buying those. Even early on, you might as well buy them early if you can, or at least once you've bought the core people. So personally, for me, every single person is immortal on my account now. So what else am I gonna buy? Once I had like the main people, the really good people to immortal, then I just started... Oh god, my poor camera. I don't know what's happening with my software and I have to stream tonight. Oh god. That's not good. But yeah, I don't know what's happening with my camera. Sorry, guys. It makes it distracting for this video. I apologize. But I'm just going to get rid of me. There we go. Boom. This refreshes on a rotation, so you could always keep an eye on having the core things purchased. But look at how much extra I have. Now I'm just buying extras of whoever that I don't have. But I was kind of holding this in case they introduced some new epics into the game, but they really haven't. So, and like in Rise of Heroes, the top 3 heroes, which are amazing, we kind of get dupes of them through Rise of Heroes, right? So, meh. So I guess I'm just going to start working on other people like Xander or Rakana that I don't have maxed out, I guess. But absolutely start buying these because you're going to see that especially when you get close to that 240. Once you get one person close to that 240, be like, oops, I better start buying. But you probably want to start buying a little bit before that. Very early game, don't worry about this, obviously, because you really just want to get your heroes maxed out first. But this is where to get those materials. So, do your Twilight, try to push it what you can take advantage of it, have some fun, be able to hyper evolve your heroes. Hopefully they introduce some other ways for us to get the gene mutation crystals besides only Twilight, because we know how frustrating that is. But it is what it is, right? If you want the end game resource, you've got to do the end game content. So guess there's no reason to complain there. That's actually quite logical. But that is meant for literally the end game. Everyone at 240, so gotta do the hard stuff to take advantage of it. But all right, guys, hope this video helped you out and give you a little bit better idea of what Hyperevolution actually does. So when you get to it, you can feel a little bit more confident in your choices. Personally, I'm gonna save some of my ones for epics in case they add different heroes to the pool. But if I start getting a bunch more, I'll just evolve a few more people, I guess. But yeah, that's all for now. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.